He's a dynamic rapper, a comedian, an actor, an all-round entertainer whose creativity is almost boundless. Tonight, he's our guest. Please join me in giving a big welcome to Falz The Bahd Guy! All right, people! Yay! Wow! You see, you can feel the excitement here.
In fact, so much excitement.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Lawyer, actor, artist, everything. Is it that we feel compelled by to be several things as a result of insecurity or the abundance of talent and ability? Which one is it?
I think the latter may just be the case. Thankfully to the Almighty, I'm able to have everything inside one body. So I believe that every now and then, at least, one need to multitask.
Yes.
I guess if I'm doing something today, I can still dive into another area.
Because we find ourselves in a country where to do one thing alone is not enough. It may not just be enough.
Yes, of course.
Yes, because sometimes there are too many bills to pay,
Of
and
course.
the resources are
Thank
very
you so
big.
much. Yeah. Generally, there's a popular saying that it's not only one road that leads to market.
Yes. You're a traditional African. Okay, now this whole concept of sounding like a half illiterate man from the Western Nigeria, what is it about this concept? Because we know that there's dual personality in this one man sitting right in front of me here.
Course,
So one speak like this man from Western Nigeria that is half illiterate, and the other one is very posh. So what's the concept about? There must be something that led you to exploring this, mode of communication.
Generally, I didn't want to be proud. I get it. I didn't want people to. No, normally, because if people saw me now, they think I'm racing shoulder. Because I'm not somebody that do defecate or release feces. I'm serious now. If maybe through by accident now, if I pollute the hair, it smell like pineapple or lavender or something like this.
Okay, so let's just say it's working for you right now. But you see, the amazing thing is that we live in a world that is full of double standards.
Yes.
Now, people who normally sound like this in the society, people look at them and laugh at them like people who are half-baked, like they make jest of them, in fact, sometimes. But here you are doing the same thing and people are loving you for it. In fact, some say he's so down to earth, he makes him relatable and approachable, So why in reality, they don't really send people where they talk like this, but they love you for doing the same thing. How come?
I think maybe because it's, maybe people, they do observe that it's just matter of humorous stuff. At least just for entertainment purpose. Yeah, so at least they didn't look down on me. But
so they know that deep down he's actually posh. But he's just doing this
some people
thing
still judge me. Some people misjudge me and they look at me as, okay, this boy is illiterate. But then I'm somebody from abroad.
All right. You see that this interview is shaping to be very, very exciting. So don't even go anywhere. It's the other news and we are still here. I'm still talking to one of Nigeria's finest artists, Falz The Bahd Guy. So yeah, Mr. Bad Guy, as we were gisting before we went on that break, you once criticized musicians who glorify 419 in their music. But today it's beginning to look like more of the music industry is being sponsored by people in the Yahoo business. What is your reaction to that?
That is true. And at the time that I did it, I did it because I felt like, it was the right thing that I was saying. And, I don't feel like crime or criminal acts should be glorified, with music. Because I feel like as artists, we're in a position of influence. A lot of young people look up to us and, look to us as role models. So the sort of gospel that we preach is important. And I still stand by that.
That is very, very true. In fact, if there's one thing I can say for you, you're a young man who is not afraid to make his views known. And I'm sure lots of your fans like you because of that. Yes, you're well loved by fans, talking about fans. Yeah. So what makes you the bad guy?
Well, the bad guy is a bit of a title, understand, because the way I do operate, very slick, very smooth. And my bad guy is different because I spell it in a different manner. Okay. So B-A-H-D. And that stands for brilliant and highly distinct.
Oh! Well done, sir. Well done, sir. All right, I want you to see this video. Then we'll come back and talk about it.
This is Nigeria, where Madam Philomena.
Money vanish from your office, 36 million, you tossing an animal. This is Nigeria, never any recession. When looters and killers and stealers are still contesting election. Politicians with thieves, some billion and billion, you know they go prison. Police station they close by 6, security reason.
That's a very good job. In fact, I think that job is actually one of our first. Now, that's one video that has generated a lot of reaction. Was that the plan?
Yes, the plan was to generate reaction, but the magnitude, of reaction
was not expected.
Was not expected. I didn't foresee that, for example, P. Diddy will post on his Instagram page.
Wow. That's big.
Now, please don't discuss with me again because Diddy is my friend now. But
okay.
So it was definitely intended to generate some sort of reaction.
Okay, in terms of social commentary, which is what we saw a bit of it on that video, do you think artistically you did a good one? You know, did you deliver on the social commentary at least from the reactions that you've gotten so far? Yeah,
so far I think reaction so far it's been mostly positive. You know, people really like the way that I've pointed out the issues and the ills that we're facing as a country. But you know, like with everything, there will always be people that find the negative.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
of course.
And people are complaining, why did you use the dancers in the hijabs, for example?
That's very creative. In fact, that was one thing that stood out for me, to be very honest. That is one thing.
I thought it was pretty
because
clear.
on a lot of levels, I mean, are we saying that people who wear hijab can't be creative, can't love entertainment, they don't dance?
I think people always find a way to shoot the messenger so that they miss the message. But at the end of the day, the earlier you start to pick the message and start to react accordingly.
For me, in fact, one line that really got me was police station closed by 6 for security reasons. Have your friends in the police force called you?
Not yet, but as I'm walking out, I'm washing my back. But I mean, it's stuff that we need to talk about. The insecurity issues, it's horrible. Everybody doesn't feel secure anymore.
I hear you. So with all this creativity you're churning out, where is your music, your acting, where is it headed?
I mean, I'm just trying to be as diverse as possible. Like I said earlier, we are doing this, we are doing that, we are still doing that. We're branching out, different stuff. This year, I'm working on a project that is completely conscious music, as we've seen from this one. I'm still working on the normal stuff because every now and then, understand you do that, but you still need to relax your body.
See, I see you're continuing the tradition of being the spokesman for the people or the common man in quotes.
Yes.
But you're not a common man.
I'm a common man.
No, I mean, we live in Nigeria, so if looking at your background, we know you're not a common man. How do you easily identify with this struggle? Is it that you've been able to integrate into the system, feel the pulse of the people?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to sort of, integrate yourself into the system and feel the pulse of the people. I mean, in our everyday life, we get to see, ordinary people and how, difficult things are, at the end of the day. So it's pretty easy to sort of...
So these things play out in front of us every day, so you can't even ignore it.
Exactly, and people that choose to close their eyes to that, I think they're, insensitive.
Now, there's another thing, which you touched slightly. There's so much, let's say, immorality, abuse of drugs in the society today. And in the music industry, sometimes you see the videos depict drug abuse like it's something positive. People do lots of praise songs for weed and, things like that. Don't you think that, how do you see your colleagues and friends in the entertainment business using their platform to improve on, this problem, these vices, bring about positive change?
Like I said earlier on, it's important for artists to realize that they have a very loud voice. And the way that we use that voice, is the most important thing. So we need to know that we need to send out positive messages with our music. And for example, personally, I try as much as possible not to send out anything that is, negative, with my music. And I try to tell stories with my music. I try to, as much as be entertaining, educate as well, with music.
Okay. Politics is in the air. On this show, I try to keep it very, very real. Politics is in the air. 2019 is around the corner. Not too young to run. Young people getting involved. Some are even saying, "Here I am. I want to go. Vote for me," which is all interesting. You know, you have a huge platform, like you mentioned. The voice is loud for an entertainer. What role? Our democracy is beginning to look like it's shaky again. What will the entertainer do to make sure that our democracy counts and it delivers for the people who need it the most, the so-called common man? How do we use this loud platform?
I think it's important that we encourage people that are watching us, people that are listening to us. It's very important that we encourage them to go out there and, you know, actually influence their future, because I believe it's in our hands.
Yeah.
You know, election is coming now. You can sit at home all you like. You can complain about how everything is upside down. But if you don't actually go out there to decide who you want to be president, for example, who you want to, you know, to win the next election, then how are you really participating in how your country is being run? I think it's important that everybody goes out there, you know, get your PVC, register, and get ready to decide your future.
Okay, in rounding up, there's a question that I must ask.
Yeah.
I've not asked anybody on this show, but I'm going to ask you.
Again?
I'm not asking anybody, I'm going to ask you.
Oh, yeah?
And it's a trend that I find is becoming common in your music industry.
Okay.
So is Falz going to marry or have a baby mama first?
Personally, as I'm like this, understand, I cannot really see the future. I will need to consult with the higher forces to let me know what will happen. But currently, I didn't really have plans for marriage or anything like that. I'm still a single man.
Yeah.
I get it. Maybe peradventure you may have somebody you want to link me up.
No, I'm not putting you under any kind of pressure to marry. I'm asking.
Okay.
Is it going to be marriage before the kids, or are you going to have a baby mama, then you decide to marry later? It's a trend that I'm noticing, and I'm asking.
Well, one day I would like to be married.
Yeah.
And like I said, I will let the big man up there.
It's a nice second to you, my brother.
Nice
interview with this great guy. Please, one more time, a round of applause. Okay.